Все-таки читается как вампур. Если по-русски читать. А? Сейчас увидишь. Новая игра. Сложный, отличный. Сюжет мне вообще не интересно. Давай на среднем. Если кому-то будет интересно, я потом, может, и на сложном пройду. Хотя вряд ли.
"12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Что есть жизнь, как неожидание смерти? Нормальный. В принципе-то верно. О, прикольно. Черепок такой. Братская могила, что ли? Обычно так в войну делали.
Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
А потом многие... Потом этих братских... О, очнулся в братской могиле. А потом очень многие искали своих родственников. Ага. Под шумок так многие банды зачищали врагов и сбрасывали туда же. В те времена. Да и не только банды. Ага. Там некоторые разложились, некоторые полуразложились. По идее, яму закапывали, сбрасывали туда труп, сразу закапывали. Сразу же. И не держали так долго. Тальком в основном. Судя по всему, у него жажда.
So thirsty.
даже не слышу, что он там говорит. Да. Она еще умирает. Судя по звукам. Брат.
Mary! Oh, no! Mary!
Сестра убила.
Hold on! Please, hold on!
Поцеловал ее еще.
It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
Ага, объяснишь в толпе. Ага. Так.
These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot! This is a
Побежали.
nightmare. I need to get out of here.
Не прыгает.
This can't be happening.
Ага.
No! Please, stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on?
Так, куда бежать? Я куда? Бежать,
Oh,
да?
Mary. What have I done? What's all this about? Shit, where'd it go? Now, I can defend myself.
Мачете.
Kill the thing! Over there! Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast! Look at it! Got up like kindling! Sorry. Please, boy! Watch out! Please, stop! Who are you? There's one of them burning. What do you want?
Так.
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech!
Чертов кровопийц.
Listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
Ага. Обожгло-то как.
The sun feels like it's burning me to the bone.
То бишь надо бояться огня, да?
I need to find somewhere to hide. Let me go!
Блять.
I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? Place seems abandoned.
Обычно такой шкаф двигают вдвоем. Что это тут у нас? Портретик. Семейный. Походу.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Ага, с нами, да? По-моему, да? 5 шиллингов. Ну это же Лондон. О, трупик. Бля, что она такая страшная?
Это, мне кажется, она уже маленько разложилась. Она не может быть просто на...
Ну, вполне возможно.
В возрасте, да, она уже разложившаяся, ее же
Wait, this one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve. That's impossible.
Мародеры. Ну. Ну тогда это было повсеместно. Что там? Грабили трупы, заброшенные дома, дома во время пожара. Это все завалено нафиг. Вот еще есть. О, монетки. Что у нас там? Зеркалом. Две детки.
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me?
Угу. Как это произошло?
No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Так, что у нас тут еще есть? О, застрелился. Шприц. Тогда они были металлические. Неплохое, надежное оружие.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now! No. There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
Убивать куда проще, чем лечить. Вот доктор, блин.
No.
Охренеть.
It never got easy.
Врагов убивать проще, когда ты об этом не думаешь. Кровавленный дневник. Я читать-то не буду вслух, у меня голос для этого не тот. Он у меня нудный. А мотор суток даже 2.
А можно ведь прилечь отдохнуть, да?
Это нужно сделать.
Восстанови силы.
Не совсем.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it.
Как женщина.
Rational thinking only.
Есть только один вариант — выстрелить. Это был пролог к игре. Игра на этом закончиться в принципе не может.
Нет, конечно.
О, очухался. А по поводу того, что я сказал, что он стреляет как женщина, только мужики стреляют в свой висок. Женщины думают о том, как они будут выглядеть после смерти, поэтому стреляют в сердце. А мужикам похрен.
Absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
О, развитие. Аутофагия. Нифига себе название. Вы расходуете свою собственную кровь, чтобы мгновенно восполнить здоровье. Это первый навык, который ты изучаешь. Так. Теперь берем когти. Наверное. Кровавое копье. Или теневой туман лучше взять сначала. Я возьму туман.
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand.
Добраться до северного берега, да?
What I have become.
Так, тут труп лежал.
These
Куда он
people
делся?
want me dead. I need to leave now.
А он сбежала. Получается.
Пора было. Вампирша?
А хуй ее знает.
Here's the leech. Here! My head's spinning.
Come out, you coward!
It's locked, all right.
Как ее открыть? Там написано, дверь заперта. А можно ли ее открыть, хрен ее знает. Что тут еще есть? Оглушает. Ясно. Больше тут ничего нет, да?
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home.
Die, vermin!
А вот ты где? О, тяпнем. Засранца.
A strength I never knew I had.
Когда кусать получается маленькой энергии?
Кровь получается.
This one stinks already. She's dead!
Every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Блин.
My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Как он сказал, я больше не человек. Состояние района стабильное. Чего бы это не значило? Че, режим бомжа не включается? Ну а что, в мусорке поковыряться, это режим бомжа. Вступай в армию. Иди в армию, говорили они. Будь здорово, говорили они.
Ну да.
Poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I cannot enter.
Ух ты. 10 монет. Крысы, иди сюда.
This is despicable.
Ужас, да? Еще крысы
I
пожалел.
can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked, all right.
Не ожидал он такого от себя. Ага.
The dizziness from the jump. I can...
Пару раз прыгнул и привык.
А они когда переносят, так...
control it. I cannot enter.
Так, что тут? Пять монет. Свистнул какого-то
It's
бедолаги.
locked, all right.
Так, что у нас там дальше?
This is despicable. What will London have to say to me?
Такая кучка валялась, 10 монет.
I cannot enter. I have so many questions unanswered.
Что-то показалось. Собираем монетки.
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum?
Ее, походу, в спину то ли разрезали, то ли воткнули что-то. Еще и по рукам досталось.
The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Вампирское
Fresh
чутье.
blood. The smell is so strong.
Так он, по-моему, чувствует живых и кровь. Так. А, показалось, что-то блестит. Так, а что тут? Раз можно зайти, давай зайдем.
It's locked.
Далеко я зашел. Тут заперто.
There is no one in sight.
Если я тут побегу, ничего ведь не будет. Два винта и масло нашел, да? Судя по всему, будет крафт. Или улучшение.
А, написано шмотки. А не шмотку нет, это просто освещение.
Тут закрыто. Опа, можно зайти. А, нет.
There's no one in.
А дверь выломать не судьба. Ты ж силен как-никак. Или что, моральные принципы человека еще мешают?
Where has everyone gone?
Слышу ребенка.
According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Убежище. Это где это? Оу, убежище нашел. Чем мне тут тратить-то? Вот станок. Изготовление предметов. Лекарства, сыворотки, детали. Ясно. Лекарства для горожан. Сыворотки для себя. И оружие улучшать, да? Часть обычной рукоятки нужна 2 штуки. Свинцовая пластина 2 штуки. Ясно. Часы пока трогать не буду. Так, еще раз посмотрим, что получилось. Хватает? Ни хрена ничего не хватает. Ух ты, как обычно, значит, да? Так, карта. Основное. Нифига себе. Коллекционные предметы, документы. По-моему, на 500 опыта там ничего не взять. Минимум 600 надо.
Здесь тратишь опыт?
Ну да.
Опыт здесь ценен.
Здесь, по-моему, и опыт нужны, и деньги нужны. Ага. Что, не деньги, что ли? Охренеть, где элемент коллекции нашел, конечно. В мусорке. Что-то и правда на улице никого.
Как вы говоришь, режим бомжа, то что мусорки?
Так, что у нас тут еще есть? Интересно, у него такой внешний вид. В штанах, в рубахе, весь в крови нахрен.
Уже мы прикинули меня, что пациент не выглядел, как мужик нормальный.
А где он тебе одежду-то возьмет?
Ну, священника такого, ему доступ к плащу.
Если только раздеть кого-то, а нет никого.
Это возможно?
Нет? По-моему. Я откуда знаю? Возможно, это невозможно.
Невозможно.
О, одна открытая дверь.
At last, a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Oh, God, sir. You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Influenza.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. Professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
Если говорит, что он кого-то ищет, то он должен знать, как человек это выглядел.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago.
А при этом он спрашивает, как он выглядел.
Странно.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And, sir,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Если что, комментарии я вижу. Если что, отвечу. Правда, немного с задержкой, но отвечу.
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
Так, что у нас еще
Are they stupid
интересного?
or something? I've never even been to India. Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then.
I'll leave then.
Ладно, не хочет, так не хочет. Ее печаль, беда.
It's a good thing you cannot see.
Good evening, sir.
Wow, you look like you...
Yes.
I've been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get...
Has anybody entered the bar?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important.
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country.
I'll leave you to your bottle.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain?
Слышит.
You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you? I mean you no harm, saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. Anyone?
Его портрет. Неужто не узнал?
Да не действуй ты, крест на нас. В жопу.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Ну, я уже захотел бы слушать его, да?
Ну, с одним вампиром же он общался.
Молодец, давай. Тогда мы всегда с хорошего.
And whom?
Доктор Эдгар Суонси.
Что это такое?
Это информация о нем.
Почему ты заблокировано?
Потому что еще неизвестно.
Might you be?
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Пиздеть ты умеешь.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Конечно, впервые.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docs have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I don't know yet.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Ну, на 600 уже можно что-то взять, в принципе. О, 5 монет. Тоже неплохо. И куда же она могла тут смотаться? Мой перенос не работает. Ни на крышу, никуда.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
May I? And you're still ugly as sin.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own dogs.
Пьяный философ.
All be monsters.
Охренеть.
I'll leave you to your bottle.
Просто это высокий. Так, посмотрим-ка по нему информацию.
Его параметры?
Если они есть.
Мне кажется, он 1,90 м. Судя по росту. Он 1,90 м, он уже среднего.
Кровь, здоровье, выносливость.
1,90 м. Высокий. А прическу не ты задаешь? Внешний вид.
Стандартный внешний вид.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India. Evening, sir.
I have a few What's going on around here? Where?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, now all these terrible murders.
The murders? What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning, drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
Так, смотрим, что еще.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
I just want to talk. I didn't...
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other...
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Ну-ну. Пиздеть не шанги может.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Короче, получается так. А больше стало?
Чего?
Опыта за него. Похоже, чем больше ты информации о человеке раскроешь, тем больше ты за него получишь. Нормально. Хотя, в принципе, логично. Походу, всем пофигу.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Чужаков. Именно что чужаков.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William. Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
По-моему, по-своему прав. Он был единственным, кого этот бармен не знает.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Not long ago, this was giving me a laugh.
Пойдем посмотрим.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
Требуется добровольцы на оружейный завод. А, то бишь за даром работать.
В смысле? Без денег?
Так добровольцы же. Не рабочие, а добровольцы.
Даже не сухпайок, даже не из-за чего.
Они же добровольно пойдут работать.
Довольно принудительно, походу.
Ну, объявление же требуется добровольцы. А нет, ты пойдешь на военный завод.
Тебе ничего не заплатят, и, блядь, ты будешь без денег, ты, блядь, сдохнешь.
Записывайся в Королевский флот. Ну, пришел ты в этот вербовочный пункт. Тебя повязали, каску на башку.
Так оба!
Мушкет в руки, пиздуй на войну.
Раб.
Всё.
Военный раб.
Это не военный раб, тебя завербовали уже, считай.
Как военный раб.
Не, они просто скажут, ты подписался на военную службу, раз пришел. Все.
Ты же пришел.
Ну да.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood.
Так, это
This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Это солдат.
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim.
Смотри, как будто когти по грудной клетке.
Ага. Так и есть.
И по роже тоже.
What's this? Some sort of note.
Слева.
Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Нормально такая. Мне бы так. Дорогу переходить. И на той стороне.
Я думаю, так хуяк так и на той площадке сразу. На работе, блядь. Без автобуса.
Не, он походу перемещается только...
На близкие расстояния.
Ну да, как там сказать-то? В диапазоне обзора. О, так скажу. Вот и все. Готов. Приятель. О, патроны нашел.
Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Так. Как я понял, это как-то делается вот так вот.
If the man says a bloodsucker's dug in here, you've got one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast. Why do they hide when it's so damn cold?
Но он хотя бы мне не мешается теперь. И на том спасибо. Блин, тут столько всего, что можно взять и продать. Но он не берет. А, ну да, в принципе, карман это не бездонные. Монетки.
I cannot enter.
Угу. Это точек, по-моему, к дальним атакам и к ближнему бою получается. Кровь и тень его отлично бьют. И высокая устойчивость у него к тому же. Вот и все. Картечь. А, это получается патроны для дробовика. Картечь.
This nest of them cleaned out.
Раз, два, три.
We won't see any of these bastards back here again.
Stay close, keep an eye on each other.
Get them weapons ready. He's dead. Let's see how it likes a bit of fun. He's dead.
Вот и все. Готов. Один патрон. 3 монетки. Один патрон. Так, что тут еще было? Так, это вход. Кровища такая под костром, блин. Как он еще горит? Вот что мне интересно. Алюминиевый порошок. Алюминиевый порошок. А он же входит в состав пороха.
Да, малыш? Все правильно.
Крысы часто водятся рядом с убежищами.
Это то, с чем ты можешь подкрепить себя.
Это, по-моему, кровь тут идет как будто мана в играх других. Просто тут же за вампира играешь.
Да, ты с помощью крови можешь какие-то способности применять себе, да?
Угу.
Правильно?
Так, можно улучшить мачете. Судя по всему. Монетки. Что тут еще есть? Ну, кроме кровати. Походу ничего, да? Так. Ну, мачете так себе, конечно, но лучше так пока пригодится. Что лучше бить? Чуть-чуть меньше выносливости тратить или бить больше?
Бить больше, Муси. Выбирай бить больше.
Так. Тут получается один дополнительный удар. Ну, если считать за 10 ударов. Но у меня нет 10 ударов.
Выбирай бить больше.
Давай урон сделаем повыше.
Да, это тебе надо. Надо тебе.
Так, тут у нас что? Тут нет. Тут нет. Так, а что будет, если я его разберу? 2 пружины, 3 винта, 3 масла. А тут надо... У меня спускового механизма не хватит тогда. Пускай пока тогда лежат. Так, сейчас приляжем, полежим. Так, 50 здоровья, да? 15 выносливости. Давай сделаем так. Давай так. Сколько надо минимум? 300, да? Тут тоже 300. Тут нужен косарь. Охуеть. Так, тут 600. Тут тоже 600. А тут еще не скоро, да? Тактические, сверхъестественные. То бишь, остальные все способные, да? Обычные. Ну подумаешь, все люди умеют делать из крови копье, отращивать когти.
Пиздец, блядь, охуеть, нахуй.
Убивать туманом. Вообще. Это обычные способности.
Охуеть. Охуенно.
Вообще обычно так. Следующей ночью. Если надо будет, я несколько раз так буду делать. Пока нормально не прокачаюсь. Ага, людей нету, да? А он один остался. А нет, есть. Там еще третий был.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Easy, boys. Watch yourselves. There's one of them. Filthy piece of shit.
А урон и правда вырос. Так. Алюминиевый осколок. Шиллинги. 215, ни к голове, ни к заднице, да? Северный док. Кровище.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Why not betray your trust? I'll need a drink, cops.
Ух ты, двуручник. Смотри, тут урон 99, а тут улучшенный 64.
Охуеть.
А вот это вот не улучшенный. Ну, теперь оглушающего удара у меня нет.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Please stop. Just a sip, I promise. You're my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Эй, блядь, укусил. Сука. Старая палец. Свинцовый пруд, алюминиевый осколок. Если это тоже был недовампир, как я понял, то этот должен обратиться?
Да.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
А я так не могу.
Малышка ушла. Ушла пока.
Священничек, да? Вот, священничек.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
О, доктор приехал.
Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
Yes. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be
Образец крови Вильяма
Could it be
Бишопа.
some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Да?
Едут, блин, два доктора. Почему живые живу? Правда, один недомертв, недожив,
Where are we headed?
а другой
We're on
чисто
our way
жив.
to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that scowl. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself. Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
А чё это вы на месте зависли?
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
А у меня есть выбор?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Ну да. Завербовать лучшего ученого. Судя... Потому что он гематолог, он кровь изучал. Хотя на самом деле он хирург. Нормально. Ну хотя... Кровь тесно связана с хирургией. Без нее там никуда.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scowl said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes.
Нет бы помочь дотащить бабе мужика.
Here
Нет,
at
оставил
Pembroke, it's
у
not
нее.
what we have, what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Так. Сейчас прервусь минут на 5. А то тут будет большой-большой неприятный запах.
Почему там по часам?
Сейчас вернусь минут через 5-7.
Офнись.
bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten autocracy. Each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your...
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word.
Name's Clay Cox.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Интересный врач.
I'd like to see your goods. Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Что тут у нас? Дробовик Милтона на 2 патрона. Типа двухстволки, да, получается? А цена где? А, вон вижу. О. Не, материал я пока продавать не буду. Сначала познакомимся с персоналом. Если это возможно.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Просто когда знаешь людей, проще узнать о них что-то новое. Как я понял, это весьма поможет. Если жрать всех подряд.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency?
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And
well, Dr. Reed.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howard?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
No, I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even...
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you.
Короче, она ёбнутая. Нифига себе подсказок у некоторых. До хера и больше. Переутомление, да? Что у нас тут еще есть интересного? Ага. Урон 65. Уже выше, чем тут. Но выносливости тратит больше. И медленнее. Короче, скорость атаки средняя. Получается. Сестра Краин. Я думаю, кто такая нафиг? Коронавирус напоминает. Не чихать, не кашлять, носить маску. Так, а ты кто? Что за хрен
Good evening,
надменный?
Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones and flesh.
В какой-то степени ты прав, да.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Чё? А прикольные у него глазки. Цвет от дохлой рыбы, конечно.
Да.
Но все равно прикольно.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Aykroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Aykroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
А чё он так уебывается-то, кстати?
Do you need my assistance?
Not at all. I'm sure...
If you have a problem,
Dr. Swan...
I know we...
Oh.
Чё ж ему ляпнуть-то?
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help in this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure. But my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
В какой-то степени оба правы.
Да.
Надо быть беспристрастным и делать то, в чем уверен, но и не относиться к пациентам как к мешкам с мясом.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your...
Без этого общения игра будет так себе. Так. Тоже ничего.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Вообще-то эпидемия вокруг, и им посрать, из какого вы общества. Если честно.
Из среднего, из высшего, из какого, да?
Ну, вообще посрать.
Она, походу, из высшего.
У них тут эпидемия инфлюенции идет. Им посрать на всех. У них пациентов столько.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Wilkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
What can you tell me about yourself?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
То бишь, что-то противоположное институту благородных девиц, да? Да. Охренеть. Это что, получается, школа молодых шлюх? Или как?
Да.
Goodbye, Mrs.
What can I do for you?
Thank you.
Только где моя комната, мне это не интересно. Так знаю, где она. Это еще не поднялся даже.
I'm Dr. Reed. I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fitted. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Вроде шевелится. Пациент кто еще?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't... Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
В принципе, да.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it? My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Goodbye, for...
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Так, с тобой я разговаривал. Что тут еще есть? А что это он в зеркале-то отражается, а? Только почему-то со спины. Вот что интересно. Это как будто тень отражается. Свинец нашел. Неплохо. И тоже там у нас следит за этой чокнутой. Алюминиевый осколок, да? Еще алюминиевый осколок. Что там за информация такая о ней? Охотники на вампиров подозревают, что она на самом деле вампир. Охренеть.
То есть вампирша, скрывающая?
Да не вампирша она, синдром у нее. Просто наблюдатели долбоебы. Мешок с мусором. Как там? Охрененный дроп, да? Иди в армию, говорили они. Будет здорово, говорили они. О.
It's locked.
Закрыто.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Неудивительно.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
A pawnbroker? I expect to get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Самокритично.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course.
Ничего нет. Есть загадочный рецепт. Опиум. Ну, нормально. Что я могу сказать?
Можно еще сказать. Я утопила туалетную бумагу.
Смотри письмо, да? Что у нас тут? Это значит назад через мост. Так, туда не прыгнуть, да? Блять. Да, нашел, конечно, куда сунуться. И где я загружусь, интересно. И где же вот я появлюсь? В каком гребаном месте? Если далеко, то я нахрен игру закрою. Ну, грузи. Сосиска бегемота. Да, походу, не особо-то что я потерял, да? Ага. Ладно. Но 18 уровень это как-то чересчур. Для 4-то. Он меня один раз укусил. Восстановил почти все свое здоровье, блин. Вот такой. А, это еще. Так, с этим я болтал. С этой поговорил. О, вот еще.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Ну хотя да. Офицеры рядовые на разных фонах находятся.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Сейчас до кабинета дойду, попутно обыскав, что смогу. Сохранюсь, да выйду. А то уже и спать пора, на работу завтра некоторым. Да и вредно много играть. Здоровье не казенное. А глаз запасных у меня нету. Так что извиняйте. Чего там?
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Я бы посмотрел, как это он делает.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
У нас тут слабая сыворотка регенерации.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Либо урон, либо кровь, да? Давай так сделаем. Так, что-то я фигню не то нажал. Так. Мне тут не хватает спусковой механизм. Здесь крошечная часть обычной рукоятки, да? Часть обычной рукоятки. А здесь тоже обычная рукоятка, только 6 штук, да? Сейчас сохранимся и все. О. У меня 900, да? Давай еще здоровье чуть добавим. Куса добавим. Так, автосохранение есть. Тогда я заканчиваю.